Okay, I'm Kenna.
And I'm Elle.
And you're listening to
Are You Done Yet? This week, we're going to be talking about how we all bring a version of ourselves into relationships that existed long before we met that person. But first, let's get into our intro. Kenna, hit it.
The high of my week is starting my first big girl job, and the low would probably just be some of the conversations I had to have in learning in the classroom that were very difficult subjects.
I'm sure there were some hard topics to cover with that.
Very hard topics. What about you? What's your high and low?
My high was going camping with my family.
Okay.
And my low was probably also going camping. I have so many wounds right now.
What do you mean?
I literally scraped up my whole shin. I ran into the generator and I busted my knee. Oh, and then before we even got there, we got caught in a monsoon and the wind was blowing really hard. Both the truck doors caught me right in the back of the head.
Girl.
So that was really my low, truly. Maybe a really low point of my life, but that's why I don't go camping often. I feel like every camping trip has not been good.
I'll go glamping. I'm not a camping kind of person.
We know.
All right.
She's really not. Okay, so we have some stories to share with you from last week. We asked you guys all a question.
Thanks, chat.
Thank you so much for answering. We said, what made you say, are you done yet in your past relationships? Our first one comes from a viewer, and she said, when my ex got mad at me for being upset that he cheated on me. I would be done with that. So done.
Oh.
Yeah. And then this other
coping
one.
mechanism.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's blame you for being upset that that makes sense. My boyfriend always thought that I was doing shady stuff. Turns out he cheated on me with his ex. I fear I'm sensing a pattern.
I was about to say.
And our last story. A girl knocked on the door at 2 a.m. while I was there, and I answered.
Oof.
Wow. Oof. I would definitely be done with all of those situations.
Yeah, those, I don't even think we can refer to them as men at that point. I think those are boys.
Stop cheating.
If you aren't wanting to be in a relationship with that person, then why are you in a relationship with that person?
Right. I never understood that.
If you're looking elsewhere, you know what I'm saying?
I would much rather you just dump me.
So what's your are you done yet with moment of the week?
This week, honestly, I'm done with it being 117 degrees. I think that's insane.
That's real. I'm done with Arizona drivers because why are there 10 car lengths between you and the next person in traffic? You are the reason there is traffic.
We should not be going 30 and a 45.
We should not be going 45 on the freeway.
Facts.
Done.
I mean, we shouldn't be going 90 either, but go the speed limit. It's not that hard.
80 is okay.
Right. That's what I'm done with. So let's get into it.
Yeah.
Tell me a story when you realized that this wasn't actually about a person or the person. It was something that you were carrying. So a situation where you reacted and your first instinct was to blame the other person, but at the end of the day, you had to take accountability. This is something from you deep down inside.
I think for me, growing up, I was adopted. Oops. And so a lot of times with adopted kids, they have some abandonment issues, and that festered throughout my life and appeared in multiple different ways with my relationships with others. And so that was something that was very hard, with my past relationship when he was going back and forth, like I mentioned last episode, of whether or not he wanted to be with me. It kind of re-encouraged that idea that I am not enough to stay and that people are always going to leave me. So, I mean, yeah, that's just it for me. It was more of, I'm not worth, he doesn't love me enough to fight through whatever the issues were, or, I'm not enough to stay. So, yeah.
What kind of made you realize that that wasn't the case and that was your abandonment issues speaking through?
I think it was more of as I got older, I started to recognize that throughout my life when that would happen, and realizing that it's not necessarily that I am not enough as a person, and that sometimes people just need to step back and it's nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
So I think it was more of just age than it really was anything else, of just maturing and realizing who I am,
Absolutely.
and reflecting on my own problems on top of therapy. That is very helpful on looking inward.
I love therapy.
Yeah.
I think everybody should go,
I
even if you
agree
feel
with
like you
that.
don't need
I
it.
agree with that. I think
Yeah.
it's just a very good, healthy way of getting emotions out, whatever you're
It's a
dealing
good
with.
coping mechanism.
What about you? What's your own personal story?
I think I kind of talked about this last week too. I always struggle with people pleasing.
Mhm.
Even when people don't want to be pleased, it's rooted so deeply in me that like I have to fix everything for somebody or solve all their problems or do anything for them, even when they don't want it. So
Mhm.
whenever, I don't know, my partner lashed out at me for being too much, being overwhelming, I got upset originally, but it's like, no, you need to take a step back. Like, you're being a people pleaser.
Yeah.
Chill. Yeah. I do really need to cut that out. Like, I'm aware of it now, so I feel
Yeah.
like that makes it a little bit better.
I think that's like
I
the
try to
most
stop it.
Yeah, I think that's the advice that I would give to other people who like recognize that, is like the first step is obviously recognizing that you have those issues to begin
Right.
with. And so it might not necessarily change how you go about your relationships, whether it's romantic or friendships or, even family dynamics, but realizing that it can affect how you interact in those, it says a lot and it helps, because then it's like when you see that pattern, you're like, okay, it might not be in the moment that you're recognizing it, but you kind of take a step back and you're like, okay, yeah, that wasn't really about them. I was about
Right.
the underlying issue.
And now, like me personally, I can apply that in a future situation
Right.
and not do it.
Right.
So that's great.
What about, let's talk about like before they broke your heart.
Okay.
Think
Let's do
about
it.
it. Let's get in. What built the version of you that entered relationships?
So, like, what? Little me.
Yeah. Like what
I would
was
say
your
just like the foundation of my parents' relationship
Mhm.
as well as my faith, but also kind of the immaturity of seeing like the media,
Mhm.
Disney movies, and the books that I would read. I had such a big imagination that was like, I spent a lot of time thinking about what that could be like.
Romanticizing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I think that is partially why I still am a huge romantic.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
I don't know, but I do think that has changed a bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
And in what sort of way?
I think once you do get your heart broken for the first time, you kind of realize, like, oh, this isn't like the movies. It's really not.
It hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
This
it's
hurts.
not, it doesn't make me afraid of it.
Right. I have to agree with all of that. Like, I think Disney movies still to this day for me are huge. I am a Disney fanatic. I own that. I own that.
But are you like Disney adult or?
No, I
Yeah.
wouldn't say, I wouldn't identify as a Disney adult. I wouldn't, because it's not to the extent of like, I don't want to say craziness, but like,
Right.
I do love me some Disney.
Yeah.
High School Musical, for sure. That was a huge part of like where I don't know. But I would say my first example of love was definitely my parents, and seeing that partnership between the two of them. So that was more of what I was looking for in my life, is I wanted to be on equal ground and equal footing with my partner. Like my dad was a very hands-on dad whenever he was home from work, and like he and my mom made household decisions together, whether that included like how we handled the kids or the bills. So I'm like,
Right.
I want that in my partnership with my future husband.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. What was your, well, I guess we kind of answered this.
Yeah.
The first example of love was for me, my parents, very
Yeah.
specifically.
Yeah, that's the same with me.
Then what did your parents teach you about relationships, whether it was intentional or unintentional?
I think it was like that partnership that just like it's two sides of the same coin type of thing. Like no one is higher up. My parents didn't fully conform to the gender roles.
Right.
I mean, obviously there were things where my dad did put his foot down on, but most of the time it was a discussion. And if my mom felt so strongly about something, he had enough respect for her and their relationship to hear her out and then to say his side as well. It wasn't just like oh, I'm the man of the house type of thing.
Right.
So yeah, I just think they were very good at communicating their feelings and their thoughts on certain things. And had a very healthy, loving, long-lasting relationship.
I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you?
I think my parents, I'm gonna go a little south here, but unintentionally, I think they taught me that they're like, I don't know how to word this properly. Like, I really don't. I'm
Okay.
trying to think because it came to me and then I lost it.
It's okay. Well, we can move on and come
we'll
back.
circle back to it.
Did you ever grow up believing that love had to be earned?
Yes, but that wasn't necessarily like my parents doing.
Okay. Explain.
Well, I grew up knowing that it doesn't. Like, love should be unconditional. You shouldn't have to work for it. It shouldn't be given and taken away in those ways because that's what God does for us.
Right.
But also, I had experienced things that made me feel as though I had to earn love.
Right.
Okay, so kind of like a double-decker question here.
Mm-hmm.
Were you taught as a child to apologize, or did your family kind of just move on from things? And then to follow that, were you like allowed to have emotions in your house? Like, was it encouraged to show emotion?
Oh, girl. Even if it wasn't, I had all the emotions.
Same.
I don't know if like people are familiar with this, but I had RAD, which is reactive attachment disorder, due to my abandonment issues. So it just means that I had a lot of high intensive like emotions, and they came out with in the forms of tantrums. It was just my way of communicating. Because I didn't know how to use my words. And so I had to rewire my brain in order to learn how to talk about the needs that I needed. And it was also to like test the limits of like if people were going to stay.
Right.
Abandonment issues.
Right.
So props to my family, my mom, my friends at the time growing up for dealing with all of those. Because it was a lot for them and for me. And it's hard to talk about even now, but you know, this is healing. This is
you
what
have
we're meant
come
for.
leaps and bounds.
Right. So, yes, emotions were allowed, but my family was very good about like through our faith. I think it was like you can have your emotions and you can feel the way you want to feel, but just know that you have no control over it. Whatever is within God's plan is going to be. You know what I mean? And so it was just trusting His plan.
Yeah.
Which is I have issues with that, but.
Don't we all?
Yeah, I would just like my family was like, we have such a strong faith that like we were able to move on past those emotions, if that makes any sense, because of our faith. So yeah, what about you?
So were you taught to apologize with that, or did you guys kind of just move on from things?
I mean, I think definitely in my tantrums there were times where it was just kind of like, okay, Kenna needs to have her emotions. We're just gonna move on. But as I got older and I had my tantrums, it was kind of like I would come back when I was calm. Sometimes I would apologize, but sometimes I was too embarrassed to apologize, but definitely was told that was the right thing to do.
Right.
It was just whether or not I did it out of embarrassment or not.
I always remember my mom, she would be like, sorry isn't an apology. You have to ask for forgiveness. So I know that was like ingrained in my head.
Yeah.
I think my parents had more of like an authoritative way of parenting. So it was like, you apologize. It was, Mom, will you please forgive me for X, Y, and Z?
Yeah.
But like they did obviously encourage us to have our emotions and work through them. I went to therapy at a pretty young age, and I think that just shows that like they were trying to help me understand my emotions.
Same.
And so yeah, like we did apologize and then we move on.
Yeah. And I think as a kid I apologized.
Forgive and forget.
Right.
That was my mom's thing.
Right. I think as a kid I did apologize in my own way.
Right. I would like make my mom cupcakes or like, you know.
Yeah, or I'd come upstairs after having my tantrum and I'd be extra sweet. And so, I mean, a lot of people would take that as like, okay, she might be borderline psychotic. But, and that is a lot, fun fact, that is a lot that people think when they think of kids who have reactive attachment disorder. They do come across as potentially psychotic because they have a lack of emotion or a lack of empathy.
I think also though, like as a kid, like young kid, I don't know the age cutoff in my mind specifically, but that is like your way of showing that you're sorry. Like you're like,
Exactly.
hey, I hurt you, so let me be gentle to you. That's what we
Right.
know as children.
Mhm.
So it's not necessarily that like that's crazy even. I feel like that's pretty normal.
Yeah.
Yeah. I even still do that to my mom.
Oh,
If
same.
I'm mean to her and then I feel bad later, I'm like so sweet to her.
Exactly.
And
Oh, yeah.
like I feel bad, but I'm showing her, I'm like, no, see, I do love you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a great segue into our next topic about how grief changes everything. So, my question to you is, what form of grief do people not talk enough about?
Obviously, like death is what everybody associates the word grief with, but it
Mhm.
is so much more than that.
Mhm.
And I think the biggest thing that people overlook is honestly just like yourself.
Yeah.
When you become a new version of yourself and you leave like your past behind, you truly do grieve that.
Mhm.
Whether it was good or bad, there's parts of you that like you just can't let that go. And that is what grief is. And I think people don't acknowledge that enough.
Yeah. No, I agree. I also think, I mean, I think it is talked about, but at the same time, not to like the full extent of like there is no set timeline for grief. You
Yeah.
know, like you're never gonna fully get over it. You'll realize like that it still affects you in some sort of way. Like for instance, um, my twin's death, like still to this day, I become very irritable, short, like I'm just not a person to be around the time of March. Like, and that was, she passed on March 27th. So, like, my body feels it, and I just have lack of motivation. I shut down. There's just no reasoning with me, and I'm just not a fun person to
I
be
think
around at
that's
that time
also
frame.
like that twin bond.
Oh yeah, for sure. But it's the
Like
same
it's
with my
so
dad. Like
deep.
he's been gone for 3 years now, and like I will still feel sluggish around the
Yeah.
time or extra tired around Father's Day or the anniversary of his death, and it's like I won't even realize it until I look at a calendar and like, oh,
Right.
we're approaching that date. So I think it's so
Your body
interesting how
does
grief works.
grieve in
Yeah.
ways that you don't always
Yeah.
even know.
I mean, your body remembers so much that your brain doesn't. So like how has that changed the way that you love people?
I think I love even bigger.
Yeah.
I used to kind of hold back with people. I didn't want them to know, like, oh, I love you. That
Mhm.
wasn't important to me.
Mhm.
But like losing my little sister, I think that really made me realize, like, I have to show people how much I love them.
Yeah.
I regret every single day that, like, I didn't tell her that enough. And
Mhm.
so I think it has shown me, like, put 100% and then some.
Yeah. I think for me, it's that life is short.
Yeah.
And so, like you said, I'm going to love big, I'm going to love hard, and I'm going to scream it from the rooftops. Like I'm never going to take a minute for granted.
Absolutely.
I'm going to, whether it's with my partner or my family or my friends, like I'm going to let you know how I feel about you, and I'm going to have your back because it can get taken away from me in the blink of an eye. Um, so yeah. Do you think that that makes you clingier, or do you push more people away, like when you experience grief?
I think for me,
Mhm.
I definitely cling closer to the people in my life, but I am less open to new people.
Okay.
I am turned off by the idea of making new relationships because that's just one more person I might be able to lose.
Mhm.
I haven't been able to kind of work through that part of it yet,
Yeah.
but I would love to be able to, get out there and make new friends without the fear of like, oh, they're going to die.
Yeah. I think for me, losing my dad at such a young age, because my dad had Alzheimer's, so I lost him way before I actually lost him. And I mean, that's very traumatic, to watch the head of the house
Yeah.
slowly lose his mind. And so I think like for me, in that time specifically, I tended to push people away. There was very few people that I let in. Um, and I mean, you knew, like you were around, and you were one of the few people that I would like actually talk to about things.
Yeah.
But like my boyfriend at the time, I didn't tell him at all, and he didn't know until sophomore year of college.
Can I like out you on this?
Yeah, go for it.
You literally ghosted him.
I did ghost him, and it led to our breakup.
Granted, I would have done the same thing probably, but like, yeah.
Yeah, it was just a lot. And in
grief makes you do crazy things.
Yeah, and in my head, it was like he was such a good like, I don't know, not outlook. What's the word? he was just such a good safe space for me. And for that, like, to just all of a sudden, you know, I didn't want him to change how he looked. I didn't
Right.
want the pity.
You
And so
didn't want him to look at you differently.
exactly. So I didn't tell him. But looking back now and knowing, having conversations with him, how it hurt him, I would do things very differently. So I think I did a little bit of both, and I'm better now clinging to the people and realizing that those people around me can help me and support me in those times. But I will say I was the person to push people away because I'm like, I need to deal with this on my own. No one understands.
Before we go on to our next question, I kind of want to expand on that. I think, too, in this day and age, it is so important to cling on to the people around you because community is losing its value.
Yeah.
And you have to have community to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
To get through anything, you have to rely on the people around you, whether you want to or not. And I'm not saying make them carry everything for you, but like at least let them know, let them in.
Okay.
That's what your circle is there for.
Oh,
And I think
100%.
you realize that then probably it's just hard.
Yeah.
But I needed to say that.
Yeah. No,
So,
it's a trust thing.
Before I get carried away on my high horse, what is something that grief stole from you?
I think the way I see it is grief doesn't really steal anything from you because, I mean, I think it goes back to our faith backgrounds. Like I said before, everything is in God's control.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it's his plan. So if it's taken from me or removed from my life, I had no control over that. And yes, I may grieve it because it was something that I loved and I lost, but I don't think it's really stealing anything in a sense from me. It just wasn't for me. And so he removed it from my life, and I have to trust his plan. Because it's kind of like the image of like Jesus holding, like you're holding the flower towards Jesus and he's got a bouquet behind his back. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I kind of see it, of like, I was never really, nothing was really stolen from me. But I guess like if I had to answer the question, I am shocked by the lack of time that I had with my father. What about you?
That's a good answer. I think I just interpreted this question a little bit differently.
Mm-hmm.
I think that grief stole my childhood.
Okay.
I think I had to grow up too fast because I experienced a lot of loss throughout being young.
Yeah.
I mean, I still am young. I'm only 24.
Right. But we've lived a lot of life for the age that we are.
Right. Like I remember being 2-3 years old, my grandpa dying. Like that was something very relevant in my life for a really long time. It felt like it was all the time.
Yeah.
So I would say I think it stole my childhood, or it forced me into growing up faster than I wanted to.
I can relate to that heavily.
But on the other hand, I do think it gave me a sense of understanding in a way that I can understand other people better. It gave me bigger empathy. I was able to kind of tap into that a lot better.
Yeah.
I think that it gave me more compassion.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of compassion towards people now, and I think that's because I've lost people.
Yeah. I have to agree with that. I think it just gave me a different outlook on life.
Yeah.
And so it changed how I perceive things, and how I handle talking to other people. I feel like I have a lot more patience now because I don't know what they're going through in their life. I might only have one little interaction with them. So like you said, I'm very empathetic, and I give lots of grace.
Yeah, I love that. I think that overall, grief is not beautiful, but I think beautiful things can come from it.
100%.
So, are you ready to move on to our next topic?
Yeah.
Cool. Let's talk about faith in our relationships.
Woohoo!
I have one question to start us off.
Mm-hmm.
How has your relationship with God changed your expectations in dating? I put this one on here because I know for both of us, we have dated people in times where we did not value our relationship with God, and now we do. So I want you to answer it with that in mind.
So that's exactly how I thought about it when I was thinking about how I wanted to respond to this question was, and I'm going to be real upfront, real honest, I did not save myself for marriage like my faith would have wanted me to.
Mm-hmm.
And that is something now that I am reapplying in my life.
Yeah.
So I obviously learned a lot from having those types of relationships, but I know that is something that I value even more that I've gotten older. The sanctity of that. And there was a reason as to why that was saved for a marriage in the confines of a marriage. So I think that's just really like a huge part of how God has changed my expectations of dating. Like, I'm not necessarily looking for that sexual gratification anymore.
Right.
Whether because I mean mine was just due to the trauma that I had been going through in my life. I was seeking love and validation in ways that society told me I could gain that from. But now I'm seeking that in the Lord.
Yeah. Love
And
that.
yeah.
Okay. So do you think that you have ever confused God's timing with rejection?
100,000%. And I can say that with much confidence because that was basically not my whole relationship, but was what I struggled with a lot in my past, my most recent relationship. I don't know how to really form this because, anyway, I'm just going to say it this way. I felt like when we ended, because we didn't end on horrible terms, but it was just kind of like, okay, is it ending because
I need to interrupt you.
Mhm.
I think this is really beautiful. There's a hummingbird watching us right now. And if that's not a sign, I don't know what is.
That's peace. Oh, that's so cute.
Sorry,
Okay.
back
No,
on
you're
track.
all good. So what I was gonna say, was that like when we ended, I was just kind of like going through the whole thing because I wanted it so bad. I
Yeah.
wanted that fairy tale ending and I could see us there.
Right.
And I didn't know if it was like you said, just the rejection, or if it was just God telling me that he needs to remove him and myself from our relationship to further work on ourselves to come back and be even stronger of a couple. So I think it took, and it still is taking me time and with the Lord to try and figure that out, whether it's just like him saying no or not now.
Yeah.
What about you?
I think I can answer this in not necessarily a romantic relationship way.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I had lost a lot of friends because we did not see eye to eye with our morals and our views and our faith. And I took that rejection personally for a long time, but I do now see that was God's timing. So I think absolutely I have confused it.
Yeah, there is definitely lots of times where I look back and I'm like, especially with sports, like there is times where I was struggling to figure out a decision and it felt like the decision got made for me. And then being on the other side of that decision being made of like, wow, he really did save me from what could have been way worse of a situation.
Yeah, for sure. So off of that,
Mm-hmm.
what's something that your faith has challenged you to unlearn?
That's a tough question. I think, I don't know, maybe you answer it and I'll think on that one a little bit.
I think my faith has challenged me to unlearn, we talked about this last week, blind loyalty, because I used to be, I am still a ride or die friend.
Mhm.
I'm not saying that I'm like flaky, but it used to be like no matter what, I agreed with you because you were my friend.
Yeah.
And my friend was always going to be right.
Yeah.
I had to unlearn that. And that's because at the end of the day, God is what's right.
Yeah.
My friend's not.
Yeah. Okay, so that actually sparked a response for me. I think it goes back to the control thing for me.
Yeah.
And it's that what is for me, I will not miss. So I am not the one that has to go and pursue it, and I don't have to chase it down. So I think like unlearning that I am not in control or as much control
Right.
as I think I am.
Like you are in control of the choices you make,
Right.
but God is in control of
the plan
overall,
the big picture.
Yeah.
And so I think for me it's very hard for me to get my head around that. So yeah, I think
it's hard to let go.
Ooh, is it? Yeah. Ooh.
It really is.
Yeah.
And I'm not good at it.
So did you ever pray for someone who wasn't meant for you?
Probably.
Oh, yeah.
Most likely.
I'm like, I don't think there's one person I haven't prayed for in my life.
Right. I don't think I've ever sat down and, well, actually, I take that back. I definitely have sat down and like begged God for that person to like act right or do the right thing because I wanted them to be for me.
Retweet.
So, yeah, before
Or the praying for the prayer that I feel like I misuse in a sense. I don't know if that's the proper word for it, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Is the Lord, if it is not for me, please remove it from my life. And sometimes I feel like I'm praying that prayer with my own expectations of what I want from that.
You don't actually want them removed.
Right. I'm just like, Lord, please fix him so he can be perfect. Or Lord, please fix her so we can continue this friendship or whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a hard one, but I do understand.
So how do you know when to fight for a relationship versus when to surrender it?
I think I'm still learning this every day, personally.
I agree with that. Like, I don't think I really know how, because I'm a fighter, always have been. I'm very resilient.
Lover and a fighter.
And I think if you are a lover, you have to be a fighter.
Correct.
So I will never not fight. But again, like I've had to surrender a lot this past year. So it's just kind of, I don't know, whenever you hit that realization that there is no change, all right, Lord, take it.
Once you hit rock bottom,
right.
It's like, okay.
Or you're just not seeing results.
Healing isn't pretty, but let's get healed.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think the moment that you realize there hasn't been a response from the Lord is when you're just kind of like, okay, maybe I need to take a step back and let him be in control of it.
Yeah. Okay, so since we're kind of on the topic of healing and all of those things, I want to get into the not so pretty part of healing.
Okay.
Because let's face it, healing isn't pretty.
Oh, yeah.
I'm starting this off pretty strong. Are you ready?
We'll find out.
I'll answer it after you if that makes you feel better.
Okay.
All right, kind of. What was your rock bottom?
I think for me, specifically, I feel like my rock bottom was high school. That was definitely the most difficult time for my family with my dad and his health. He was exhibiting more signs of like not being able to stay at home alone. And so being the person that I am, I felt like I couldn't go to school and live a normal life. Yeah. I felt like I needed to be home to watch him. And so I mentally just wasn't able, I don't know, just how to, I wasn't able to handle it. And so I would only go to school for the first semester. And even then, my attendance was spotty. The only thing that kept me alive during that time was volleyball. And so that's why I was there, just for the first semester. And then after that, you'd barely see me. And it was mainly a time because he entered a home my sophomore year. So, yeah, definitely my freshman year was so difficult because I was witnessing my dad not being able to even change himself at all, or eat. Couldn't even figure out how to make food. So it was just simple tasks, and that I was just like, how am I supposed to go to school and be a normal high school student when my dad's at home? My mom's working, so no one's there to watch him.
You had so much going on at home. It's like, this doesn't even feel important.
It didn't even matter to me. Yeah. So I did end up getting my GED, so I did graduate, just not through my high school. But yeah, I would say that was my rock bottom, and the only thing that really mattered to me was family, and the only thing that kept me getting out of bed was volleyball. So thanks to Perry coaches and my Perry teammates, because you guys definitely kept me going in that time.
Well, I'm really proud of you.
Thank you.
I know that was really hard.
Yeah, it was not
still is hard, but you deal with it well.
I climbed out. I found my way out of the tunnel that I dug for myself.
And we knew you would.
Right. So what about you? What was your rock bottom?
I can remember my rock bottom as like a very specific instant. It was kind of when the knob in my mind turned and the veil came off and I was able to see that like what I thought my life was going to be was not the case. I remember I was just driving around the little town I lived in. It was just like sobbing. Everything was like replaying in my mind. I was like, this is it. I ended up at my friend Jazz's house. Love you, girl. I know you're
Shout
watching
out,
this. You saved me. Truly. That was my rock bottom. I did not see an out from there. I didn't know how I was going to make it.
Yeah.
But thanks to Jasmine and God, I did a lot of things.
Found the light at the end of the tunnel.
I am very grateful for you, my other friends, my family. But in that, my rock bottom moment, Jazz was definitely what saved me.
Well,
So
I am also very thankful to Jazz because I couldn't be there to help in any sort of way. So very happy that she was around and could save my best friend. Forever grateful for that. So what is something that you thought you'd never recover from?
that moment, I was like, everything exploded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of same with me. Like my whole situation, I never thought that I would recover from slowly watching my dad's brain deteriorate and shattered our family dynamic in a sense. You know, like he was my siblings and I, like, we idolized my dad. He was by far the best father ever on this planet. I mean, you met him. He
love Pogo.
Big, yeah, love Pogo.
So big.
Big goofball. Loved the Lord fiercely.
He was such like a role model.
Yeah. Like, I mean, he did prison ministry. He was a fighter pilot for 25 years and then flew for Southwest for 15. So, I mean, we just idolized him. And so I never thought I would recover from losing someone so special in my life.
Ugh, this sucks. Why do we want to talk about this?
Woo, deep. Welcome back, y'all.
Right. Are you going to watch next week?
Yeah,
we hope so.
Really hope so.
So what habit that you had did healing force you to break?
The turning into myself, because during those times, like part of me not going to school is like my mom couldn't even get me out of bed. I was so deep in a depression. And so forcing myself out of that and seeing the bright side of things and just realizing that like I just needed to communicate my needs. Like that is something that forced me to break.
And I think you're right. I think I have seen that in you.
Mm-hmm.
You definitely don't do the isolation thing.
Right.
And that's good.
Right?
That's really good. I'm really proud of you.
Yay!
I think it's okay to isolate yourself here and there. But
yeah, I don't disagree. When you need time and space, you need time and space. But
yeah, time and space is different than I'm
letting yourself sink into the depression
cut off from the world.
Yeah. And just like not responding to people. It's I do that. And I mean, I had every reason to do that with this past experience with my family. But I didn't do it as much as I did in high school.
No, and I think that like you called me, like you reached out, like
you
wouldn't have done that 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago.
Yeah. No. So I
would have found out 3 months later and been like, girl.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
Because we've grown.
Yeah. So what was your habit?
Like, I just get really down on myself. I go into the like, what did I do wrong? How is this my fault?
Yeah.
Where did I change? Like, I fixate on what I did wrong.
Mm-hmm.
In a way, I don't know. There's probably like a word for that.
I fixate on like the why me.
It's not even that for me. It's like, why didn't I fix it? Why didn't I save the situation? Again, I think it's control. But I don't do that as much anymore.
Yeah.
I understand that like, if something's not my fault, it's not my fault.
Proud of you.
I don't feel guilty about it's like Survivor's guilt in a way. Like,
yes.
I did have that for certain things, and like I don't have that anymore because I was able to say like, oh, this wasn't actually my fault.
Yeah, I did all that I can. Recognizing the good. I think that's always what helps you in that moment is finding the positive when you don't think there is one, because there always is one. Whether it's small or not, doesn't matter. It's still a bright side.
You sparked my brain.
Mm-hmm.
It broke the habit of like self-wallowing and then forced me into looking for joy, finding the happiness in the little moments.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. So what is a trigger for you?
To trigger my grief, to trigger just life
like,
in general?
Just like past trauma. Like, what is a trigger for your past trauma in this healing phase that makes you kind of maybe regress a little bit in your healing or just sparks up emotions?
I never said that. That's my trigger. Yes, you did. Own up to it.
Yeah.
Okay, say something else so it doesn't stay in my brain. What triggers you?
What triggers me? I still love and care about her, but
it's the but. That's the trigger.
Or it's like
there should never be a but.
It's never really even like like them saying a but it's just like your actions don't line up with your words, and then I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
What you mean,
that can be a story time. I don't mind divulging. I'm an open book. If you guys have questions, ask me.
So, like,
and
what do you
answer.
think about people saying something and then not acting on it?
What a triggering conversation this is.
Right. What do you think of that?
What do I think about that? I think actions speak louder than words.
Amen, sister.
100%. Your words, love them. Sometimes they are validating. Sometimes they do make me feel better. But I would like to see it more than I'd like to hear it.
Yeah. And if you say you're going to do something, do it.
Right.
So.
And it's like, I think that's how you show you care for somebody is more through your actions than your words.
Absolutely.
And so I'm like, when they say that triggering like little phrase, I'm like, but your actions didn't show that. You may say you cared about me, but I know how I care about you. And I would never have done it the way or handled the situation the way you handled it. So I'm just kind of like, and
are you done yet?
Are you done yet? And I fixate. Yep. And I'm like, was it ever really real? Did he really ever care about me? You know what I'm saying? Like, did he love me the same way I loved him? Why doesn't he feel the same way? It's that Maddie and Tay song, Die From a Broken Heart. That's me to a T.
Good.
Yeah.
Is this thing on? Kinda.
Mm-hmm.
It's time for a friend check. Friend check.
Let's do a friend check.
All right, Kenna. Let's get real.
Uh-huh.
What pain do you think I've carried the longest?
Ooh.
I hate that I said that with a smile on my face.
I think you've carried the pain of others for the longest. I think,
Yuck.
And their trauma on top of your own.
Yuck. Yeah, you're probably right.
Get their trauma away from yours because it's just not needed. You don't need to carry their baggage.
We kind of talked about this earlier, but I think that you have carried the pain of the loss of your twin.
Oh. Ooh.
Which, valid, but
yeah.
I would say that.
No, yeah.
That just stands out to me.
Yeah.
When did you notice me finally start healing?
Just a little PSA. I am so freaking proud of my best friend, and I don't even think you guys understand. But yes, this does play into me answering this question because I think it was recently. Like, this is when you've done the most, like, for yourself, you know? Like, you have stopped not caring, that's not the right word, but I think you're gonna understand what I mean when I say, like, caring for others and, like, you are finally putting yourself and your needs above theirs.
I started prioritizing my self-healing.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. That means a lot to me.
You're like, I need this for myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I stopped trying to heal other people and started focusing on healing myself first.
Yep.
Yeah, because that is what we are called to do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I finally answered my calling.
So what about me? What's mine?
I would say probably like in the last 2 years, 3 years now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whenever you went to Mississippi State, was that 2 years ago?
No, it was a year ago.
Year ago?
Yeah. Around this time last year. Shout out State.
So around this time last year, I think that's when you kind of stopped fighting it. You finally accepted that it was okay to heal. And I think that tearing your ACL had a big part in that because volleyball was your outlet.
Yeah.
But it was also your distraction.
Yeah.
Which I think that's totally fine. Yes. I'm not saying that in a negative way. Please don't take that in the wrong way.
No. I think it definitely slowed time like down for me because I wasn't able to travel with my team. And so it was just me, not even kidding, just me in my room all alone with my roommate's dog, Thor, who is the grouchiest chihuahua I have ever met. Love him, but also we're beefing Thor. Yeah, still to this day, having me chase after you on crutches, how dare you?
That's crazy.
How dare you? But yeah, I think it slowed a lot of things down, and it's like I was forced to just be left alone with my brain. And so, yes, like you said, like volleyball was my outlet. And that's what I think a lot of like athletes don't really like find the distinction between is like, is your sport your life or is it your outlet?
Yeah.
And for me, it wasn't my life. It was my outlet. It was how I was able to cope with everything that I had going on in my life. And it helped me, like you said, distract me from those things too. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So, what is like one thing you wish I believed about myself?
Just one thing?
Ooh.
I have like a lot.
There's multiple?
Yeah.
Okay, well, list them. I'm not going to limit you.
I just wish you could see yourself the way that I saw you.
Oh,
Like for one day. And I think that like you are so beautiful. You have such a kind soul. You literally just see the world in such a unique way. And it's so refreshing. And I wish that like you believed that about yourself truly, deep down inside.
I love you.
I love you.
Ugh. And I was going to say the same thing. Like, I wish, well, not like that, but like, I wish you could see yourself from my like eyes because I just love being around you. And sometimes I feel like you think you're too much.
I do.
And so I'm like, you're not.
That
like,
means the
you're
most
not too
to
much
me.
at all.
I
You
needed
are
to hear that today.
everything that I need. And like, you are the peanut butter to my jelly. You are.
I love you.
You're the crust to my pizza. Well, no, you're the pizza to my crust because I like the crust.
And you're the crust to my pizza. We're so cute. We're so cute.
We're so cute.
So, where do you think I've grown the most?
I think kind of like with the healing that I mentioned, it's just like you've grown a lot of like self-prioritizing.
Yeah.
I think that's where I've seen the most growth. What about? Sometimes I get scared to ask when it's like these friend checks.
Why? Is it because you know I'm going to be honest?
Yeah.
Oh.
And I'm scared for the response. Like, well, not my response, but I'm just scared for like the answer.
I think you have grown the most in the sense that your self-worth doesn't come from other people. You're not seeking validation anymore.
I agree.
And that's a beautiful thing.
I agree. Okay. What's something I need to let go of? Ooh, getting in deep.
Your ex-boyfriend. Is that okay? Can I say that?
This needs to stay in. This is all
I do mean that.
And I
like real raw
100%
100% honesty.
And I honestly think I'm on the here's how I see it.
You're on your way there, but like
I am over him as the person.
You're just not over
I'm
the
not
relationship
over the situation
or the situation
and how he handled it.
Yes.
Because the hurt is still there and it's still real and it doesn't make any sense to me. Like I have mentioned in the past, like with all these other things that we've talked about, it clearly is still evident that I am very hurt with how he handled things. And do I think, let's circle back to the apologizing and just moving on. I don't think he should have just moved on. I think he should have turned around and apologized.
I think he very much did.
And I still think he should.
However, at some point, I think it gets to where the silence is your answer.
Definitely. Yeah, for sure.
And that doesn't make them a bad person and it doesn't make you a bad person. People grow up and they experience things and they go different ways.
Yeah.
And I think that's okay. So I guess let me rephrase this. I don't think that you need to let go of your ex-boyfriend. I think you need to let go of the hurt and the idea of the relationship.
Yeah. Like how I pictured it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I think you had rose-colored glasses on.
Really?
I do.
I
because
think
you would tell me one thing.
Yeah. I think he wasn't as healed as I would have liked him to have been from his own trauma in order for the relationship to have thrived.
Oh, we're going to have so much fun because that's coming up later.
I think, like, for you, I think something that you need to let go of is, like, that it's, like, of, like, when you don't need to continue, like, you can't fix people, you know?
At some point, yeah. I can't change them.
Yeah. Like, let go of the idea that you have to do any sort of fixing.
Yeah. I do need to do that.
Yeah. All right, should we get into some Are you done yet? Rapid fire.
Rapid fire.
Rapid fire.
How rapid are we going to make it?
Real rapid.
All right, we're going to answer this in a way, not yes or no. We're saying heal or run. So, first things first. Hannah, would you date somebody who's still healing? We just talked about this.
Run.
Would you wait for somebody who's currently emotionally unavailable?
Run.
Would you date somebody with completely different faith?
Run.
Been there, done that. Run.
Running. Yeah, right.
Marry somebody you had to fix.
Run.
Yeah. Run. Like she said. Believe someone when they say they've changed. Heal.
I was about to say heal. I need to see it.
If you can show me you've changed, great.
Right. If you can't,
so I should believe
I will give you the option to.
I think we both have had so many people say, oh, well, I've changed or I'm going to change, so it's hard for us.
Right.
But I think we should.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to allow you the opportunity to show you can, but there's going to be a time limit in a say. And if you don't or can't prove that you have, I'm running.
So would you get back with somebody after years apart or
Heal.
run? Yeah, I would heal. That's healing.
That is healing.
Maybe. The circumstances.
It's back to the God's timing or rejection kind of thing.
Right. If God's bringing them back in my life, I'm hoping it's not a test. Hoping it's not a test.
Hoping it's not a test because then I would have failed.
We were so rapid with that.
Yeah,
good work.
Pretty good. That's actually pretty solid for us.
All right. So then we're going into our next.
Mhm.
Are you done or not done? Our first one. Everything happens for a reason.
Not done.
Not done.
I agree with that.
Right person, wrong time. Done.
Not done.
I'm very done.
Okay.
I think God's timing. He wouldn't put the right person in your life at the wrong time.
I agree with that to a certain point.
Soulmates. I've never really been on that wave.
Yeah, I don't know that I fully believe in soulmates.
I think my friends are my soulmates.
You're my soulmate.
You're my soulmate. So we're so not done. What about closure?
I need to be done, but I feel like I'm not done. I always am going to be a person.
Should ever be done with closure.
Yeah, I think to a certain extent. But I think I'm always going to be the person that's like, I need answers and explanations as to why.
I guess I'm good at giving myself closure, so that's why I feel like that.
Yeah, I am not.
To an extent. If it's God's will, it will happen. Not done.
Not done.
Because that's facts.
Yeah, that's,
amen. Loving somebody isn't enough. Not done. Because that's true. We need to talk about that.
Yeah.
Love will never be enough. If you don't
Unfortunately.
have God in your relationship, your love will not.
You got to have that
ever
strong
carry you
foundation.
through.
Otherwise, it's not worth it.
You also need to have chemistry. You need to have...
Right. But I mean, that foundation's where it all starts.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But no, loving somebody isn't enough.
No.
That might be a hot take, but it's not. You can heal while inside a relationship. I'm not done with that.
Not done with that.
That's very true.
I think you, in a relationship, you're meant to push each other and help each other grow.
We did both just say we're done with dating somebody who's not healed.
I don't think you're ever going to go.
I think we're taking this kind of healing out of context. Like, it's not
I don't think you're
relationship
ever gonna,
healing.
Yeah, I don't think you're ever going to come to somebody completely healed. Don't hear us when we're saying that.
Right.
I think it's more of like in the sense of, can you handle somebody else's issues on top of your own?
Right.
You know? And knowing what you're out, like, and knowing where your source is coming from. Like, if you have a foundation with Christ, knowing that He is who you're seeking that validation from and your answers from, I think that is very helping in a relationship, especially like while you're healing. So it's like, can you be that guiding person of helping them turn to the Lord when they're struggling? But again, I don't think people are, there are some things you never truly heal from. You just learn how to adapt and move on. It to a certain extent, meaning move on. But yeah, I genuinely think like I don't want somebody who isn't capable of giving me any sort of emotional support. So that is what I think you need to be healed enough to do if you can
It also depends on like what you're healing from. Like, for example, when I asked this question, I think of myself. I can give a personal example. I was in a relationship. I was married when my little sister passed away.
Yeah.
I had to heal from that.
Yeah.
Grief is something that takes a long time to heal from. But I wasn't going to just like, oh, we're going to divorce because I'm sad and I need to heal from this.
Right.
That's
and
why
it's like,
I think you can.
That's your person that you talk to.
Right.
They are your support system. So yeah, I think you can do, I think you do a lot of your healing within relationships because they show you like how to heal. You know what I mean? Like they are loving and they heal things. I mean, people talk about how their partner fixed a heart that they didn't break. And so I think that is very real.
Yeah. So are you done or not done with the ideation that marriage fixes relationship problems?
I am done with that.
I'm so done with that.
Marriage is not the answer. If you have
problems, you shouldn't get married in that moment.
100%.
Work through them
like
first.
Marriage is not the answer. And I also think marriage is such a huge thing.
Yes.
And there are definitely cultures that rush that and put a timeline on when that needs to be happening. Like we're at the age where a lot of our friends are getting married because, they just graduated college. And you're like, well, what's the next big step? Marriage. Right. I'm not saying that people our age haven't truly found the one that they need to or are supposed to be with, but I think it is pretty easy to fall into that societal expectation.
I think I think it's just society is just rushing us in general because like you said, you're seeing this.
Yeah.
All the media that's being pushed is like couple stuff and you see your friends, obviously. It makes you feel some type of way.
Yeah. And marriage is hard. Like
it is
hard. You're joining two different people. And so it's like, why not take the time to make sure you're ready for that next step before you jump into it? And like there really is no rush. It doesn't fix things. And marriage is hard, like I said, on its own. So it's like whatever issues you already have, it's just going to exacerbate those issues if you aren't fully healed.
I'm going to expand on this as somebody who was married because that is just so true. Marriage is hard. Everybody's like, oh, I love being married. Married life is so fun. It's
the rose-colored goggles.
Easy.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
no one ever talks about the hardships of marriage.
Great. Granted, we have a very different situation that not everybody has. He's gone 9 months out of the year. Like those were hardships that I was not prepared for. But marriage is not going to fix your relationship problems. It's also not going to fix your personal problems. It's not going to fix your insecurities. It's going to heighten them. You're worried that your boyfriend was out cheating on you. Imagine how you're going to feel when you can't shake that feeling that your husband's out cheating on you.
Right.
Just because you're insecure. It might not be true, but those things live in you and marriage will intensify them because it's more than just a commitment. You literally are joining your forces to be one. So, don't rush getting married.
Nope. Take your time. Find the right person. Make sure you feel like you're making the right choice.
And also, even when you think you found the right person and you think you're making the right choice, if they show you that they're not the right person and it wasn't the right choice, it's still okay to leave.
Right.
Not enough people talk about that.
And I think the way to find out if that is the right person is prayer. That is the only way you can find that answer is you just need to be praying for that person and asking the Lord if that is who he is put into your life, if that is the next step he is wanting from you.
There's some things we'd love to know, some questions we'd like you to answer. All right, group chat. What wound are you trying to currently heal? Or what's one lesson that grief taught you about love? We'll let you guys answer those, and we'll talk about them next week.
Can't wait to hear those.
Yeah. All right, kind of as we wrap it up, I do have a few more questions.
Okay.
We'll go back and forth with these, just like we always do. Start us off. What is something you're still surrendering?
I'm still surrendering control.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I would have to say the same.
Yeah. I gotta give it up to the Lord.
It's out of our hands.
It is. What is one prayer that has been answered differently than you expected?
Ooh, that's kind of a hard one.
Yeah.
I think the prayer to lead my partner towards a Christ-like relationship was answered kind of differently than I had hoped.
Yeah.
It might not be a Christ-like relationship with myself.
Yeah.
And that's okay, but it's definitely not the answer I wanted.
It'll be good for the next partner he is with.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
we are just happy that he is now a brother in Christ. And I have to agree with that. I think not that my ex did not have a relationship with Christ, but it was just a different relationship in the sense of a different religion. So leading him to truth. I and it wasn't all through me, but I am just glad that is there, and it was something that I cried about when I found out. So I'm really proud of them. We both are.
I'm very proud, and I'm very happy.
But
I think it's
excited,
hard because we just wanted it to look different.
Right.
Yeah.
And we are excited for them and their journey, and
Absolutely.
we cannot wait to see them in heaven.
Exactly. Because it will be a party and it will be worth it.
Oh, yeah.
So what's one thing that you're grateful that grief gave you or that you learned from grief?
Just my outlook on life. Like, I think that really formed how I view the world and my relationship with others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
What about you?
I think that I'm grateful that it gave me the value of community.
Yeah. That's so real.
I would be so lost without that.
Yeah.
So, are you done with the love that we learned before we loved?
I think I can say yes.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I love that for us.
Amen.
I have one last question.
Okay.
Who would you be today if everything that you have been through had not happened?
I don't think I would be as strong as I am today. So I think, I don't want to say weak-minded, but I think I would have a very hard time dealing with hard truths.
I don't think that I would be a believer, and I don't necessarily think that I would even be here today. Because the things I've gone through might have been hard. I might not have wanted to go through them while they were happening, but they only strengthened my faith in the Lord and gave me skills and tools to grow and be a better person.
Yeah.
So,
no, I love that.
Yeah. I'm glad that I lived the life I lived.
Me too.
For sure.
I wouldn't change it for anything.
Period.
Yeah.
Good for us. Well, that's it for today, and we'll see you next week if you're not done with us yet.